Hello everyone, welcome to a new Marvel Snap Zone Premium coaching, and with everything that's happened since the last one, which is the big changes to Mobius, Wave, Negasonic, and the buff to Sandman and Ravonna. We have a lot to discuss tonight, so I got my little mind maps out again, and I'm not gonna forget this time because I'm learning. Took 17 coachings, but we got there. And all right, so does everyone remember what was the kind of the structure last week? I just want to write it up. Yes. So, does everyone remember this structure last week? Which was the base of the metagame before the change to Mobius happened.
Yes.
And we worked on this, and we explored how can we still benefit from trying to get points, but without necessarily working on cost reduction and not necessarily relying on ongoings because we had Rogue. Well, the patch basically said, all right, we're gonna cancel half of that. Mobius is dead, so the main reason to run Rogue is dead as well. And we are back to basically this, because Thanos Control still stayed really, really popular. If you've checked the Conquest tier list, you saw that Thanos Control was the number one deck, and it's still, I think, it's not 10%, but I think it's a solid 8% of the data I had to check. So Darkhawk still has a reason to be played, but the rest has changed because we don't have Mobius, we don't have all this. I am going to pull Conquest tier list to take a look. Decks. Conquest tier. Alright, so basically, what happened with all of this is that Darkhawk still, like, these two are still pretty popular, but really, what's happening here is that now the center of the game, if we look at popularity, has become Loki. Why is it Loki? Two reasons. Absolutely every content creator, their mom, grandmother, father, and probably a neighbor or two said that this was going to be the best deck. So people obviously played it. And the other reason, which is the important one, is this. Loki can play into literally everything because he doesn't really care what you're playing. If you're better than him, he'll take your deck. And when you don't really know what to play, this is extremely strong. We still have a lot of other decks, but basically, considering Loki was one of the most important decks, we also got Eye Evolutionary to come back. For those we don't know, Loki does not take cards that were affected by High Evolutionary. Instead, he takes cards as they are in the database. He takes the cards without the effect. And because we had High Evolutionary, this gave Thanos Control a good reason to come back, because Prof X is Thanos Control. And basically, so when I say High Evolutionary, I mean the deck. Clear, but I mean the combo deck with Hulk, She-Hulk, Infinite. So that deck. And so that deck has kind of a weakness. Is that considering we want to pass turn 5, if the opponent just drop a Prof X, it just has to do it on a lane that is not the one from Sunspot, and they have a very, very good shot of Prof X looking it. And because we have Thanos control back, Darkhawk has obviously still a reason to be played. And we're back to where we were, and that's already. What have I done with my tier list? Back tier list. Alright, and that's already 6 of the top decks in the game. Basically, in the tier list, like, these 6 were ahead of the rest. Loki is in tier 2 because he was, I think, at 59.5 win rate, and tier 1 is 60. But like the difference between Loki and Darkhawk is very, very minimal, where the one between Loki and Dracula was much bigger. And then Shuri, Sauron, and Destroy are not really like kind of part of it, although no, Destroy could have been here as an answer to Loki, because as we said multiple times in the past, one of the weaknesses of Loki is extremely high synergistic decks, where when he only tries to get a card for like 2 turns, he doesn't have enough time to develop the full game plan, and alone the cards aren't as good. So basically, this is where we are, and the thing is, Destroy is also annoyed. No, like this. Destroy is also annoyed by Professor X, because Professor X says you're not destroying, and Thanos Control has absolutely no problem slotting in cards like Armor, like Cosmo, like Shang-Chi. Like, it's easy for that deck to adapt to game plans he can predict, while it's much harder to do it for game plans he can't predict. So we talked about Darkhawk. I'll put the decks that are kind of doing their own things. There's Shuri, who's just here because I guess it will always be here. We also have a Discard, which doesn't really have a reason to be played, but it's just a good deck. And we have so these are the 3 where, for now, the matchups aren't necessarily like clear, or they don't have a reason to be in the metagame outside of, well, I'm good enough to be in the metagame, leave me alone. While the other ones were starting to see kind of like patterns emerge. And there's one more. Darkhawk combo decks, because Darkhawk tries to lose priority. It's trying to leverage like Shadow King and Shang-Chi, and combo deck don't really care. Then we're back. No. And then we are back to Loki. And, in a sense, Ramp as well, because it can annoy combo decks. If we take a look at it. Why do I keep closing the damn tier list? If we look at the Ram deck, you will see that the basic purpose of the deck is to make your life miserable. Right? So yeah, we have Iceman, we have Sandman, we have Professor X, we have Alioth. Like, the goal of the deck isn't to beat you with points, it's to beat you because you have stopped like being willing to play Marvel Snap, basically, by the end of the game. So this is kind of where we are. I'll try to replicate the same color. Absolutely. Color. One. But yeah, so we have the start and we have the end. We have kind of the loop here. Can I loop something? What if I do this? Yeah, it's big arrow. Can round it? Bad. Oh, actually, can round it. There we go. That's a loop, and that's much easier to understand. All right. Does anyone have question about this structure of the metagame currently? I will take this gigantic silence as a no, but
Yeah, it seems like you got it right. It's an interesting six-way rock paper scissors kind of thing, and it'll be interesting to see how meta that wide eventually kind of solves itself or collapses down into fewer decks. You don't know which of these matchups you're getting, and so there's just a lot of room for a lot of people to thrive.
yes. And
Well,
go ahead.
I think the other interesting piece is like you get into tech cards versus different other decks too, and so I mean you get a lot of variables because I mean even just running, I beat Shuri Sauron with a Elsa discard deck just being silly playing some Conquest, and I had no business winning that game, like, but it was I had just a I don't know. The draws weren't even that great. I don't know what happened, but there was no reason I should have won that.
Sometimes the opponent is just.
Maybe that's it.
All right, but today what we're gonna try and do is understand like where things can go and try to see the future of those decks and see like kind of which ones are worth investing time into and which ones have a higher chance of kind of dying out or seeing their performance get a little worse. By the way, at the bottom, I'll also write decks. Fine. These three are kind of like the how do we say? They're not in the loop of the metagame. Like they're not popular enough to be considered there, but they exist and they impact it in a way. So, let's start with Loki. So the reason to play Loki right now is that it's widely regarded as the best deck. It's super flexible. It can basically play against absolutely everyone thanks to Loki ability, and it also has werewolf included. Actually, afterwards, game. But so the deck has the two things that most player want. It's winning game and it's playing the latest card. So I didn't go for werewolf myself, but basically this would be the Loki deck right now, where Jeff is werewolf or Elsa is werewolf, depending on cut. I would personally cut Helza if you're running werewolf, because the whole point of werewolves is to not feel late. But that's basically the idea around Loki, and we can see that Falcon and Beast have replaced what is usually Agent Coulson and either the second tech card, like typically we would have Cosmo plus Shang-Chi or Cosmo plus Rogue or Rogue plus Shang-Chi, or sometimes it's Mirage. And we can also see that Forge has replaced Quinjet, because now that we have Beast and Falcon, it's much better to replay Forge than it is to replay Quinjet, because Quinjet has no business being replayed when Forge gives you power every time. So this is the first deck, and this is one of the big bases of the metagame. So the plus and minus, right in it. So plus, it's very strong. And can adapt most matchups. Minus, it's difficult to play well, and people will eventually come for you. In the plus and the minus, like, are they big enough? What? You do a caps plus? Cannot do a cap. Okay, so high evolutionary. No, right inside this. Plus is good against Loki and combo decks because of Leech. If you combo decks, minus Rex. Well, minus is basically Thanos control because Professor X plus Limbo removal, which makes it that it's not that good against Loki because Snowguard can remove Limbo, but in order for them to actually like do this, they need in loop here. In order for them to use like the Snowguard Hawk for Limbo, they need to either not play Loki or to draw Snowguard exactly on turn 5 because they usually Chavez. It's not that common. Destroy. No, I don't. Bonus of Destroy. It's pretty easy to play, and you quickly know if your opponent can counter you or not. Minus Cosmo is kind of popular right now, and Professor X and Shang-Chi. Cards that are pretty popular in the game right now. That's about it. Like, there are not that many decks that can beat Destroy while they're drawn. Those here, so have them. Let's do control. I'll send a picture of all this afterward. Feel free to stop me if you have questions or everything. The goal of this isn't to be a lecture, it's more to like explain everything, and I don't really have a great way to or from this, but if there's a deck that you want us to stop on or see a list or discuss something, feel free to stop me. So the plus
real quick question. In High Evolutionary, you listed the negative as Thanos control, Professor X plus Limbo removal. Doesn't the existence of I mean, I was curious why you don't include the like Luke as the answer to High Evolutionary.
Because it's not a High Evolutionary that beats you through going Luke Cage. Like, their goal is to go She-Hulk, Hulk, Infinite. Like, it's annoying them, but the only thing you're countering with Luke Cage is Cyclops, really.
Gotcha.
It's the Infinite version.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'll make it clear.
Thanks.
So Thanos control is flexible and kind of easy. Minus Warcock. Loki is kind of a minus for Thanos control because how can I write this? I'll write points grower. Does that make sense? I mean, cards that are gonna grow their points as the game goes. And for example, like, you can't Professor X a collector. You can't really Professor X when you don't have priority against a werewolf because you don't know where werewolf is going to end up. It's hard to Professor X against discard because if you Professor X Mobius or Dracula, you're kind of stuck. It's not that easy to Professor X against Junk because they run Azmat and could get your lane like turned off. There's still Jeff in the game. Like, that's the minuses. Darkhawk plus is Thanos control, and it can run a ton of disruptive cards. And
can you show the Darkhawk list real quick?
Of course. There are multiple ones here. I'll share the two ways the deck is built, but just know that inside these two there are different ways. So, here. So this is the I'm gonna bury Thanos into the ground list. Because literally you have everything that Thanos doesn't want to see. You have Darkhawk, you have Azmat plus Men-Thing, which are really annoying for a deck that's trying to throw a lot of rocks around the board. And you have Rogue, which can steal Devil Dinosaur, Blue Marvel, and that kind of stuff. Then, oh, I didn't include the Stature deck. Oh, I thought I had the Stature deck. Well, I think I explained it here. Where is it? Okay. Edit it out.
I think you had it in your premium version a few days ago, when the Infinity Gauntlet launched.
That may be where I wanted it, but I'll just do it right now and that'll work perfectly. Basically, we can do this, and we go this, something like that. Like you remove the 3 cards that are the Azmat package, like this, and you instead play the proactive package. So you add Iron Man, so you can have a turn 6 Stature plus Iron Man. You add a really good target for Iron Lad, so you're not that mad about it. The only problem here is you're only running 2 forecasts. So usually what's gonna happen is Rogue is gonna change for a Shang-Chi. Or something like that's usually the idea. And if you want to stay really good against Thanos, you can even do this. And that's another way to play proactive, but stay pretty decent against Thanos, because you have Killmonger helping against. So that would be a more proactive way to build the archetype of Darkhawk. There are the 2 ways, and one is very targeted around like beating Thanos, and he's much more reactive, and another one is more like old school Darkhawk. I have a lot of points, and you're gonna draw rocks, and you can't do anything about my points. Is it okay?
Gotcha. Thanks for taking a second to show me that. Yeah.
No problem. Do you actually want the deck in the chat or something like that?
No, that's good. I just wanted to make sure I was tracking what was in the deck, because evolution through the meta and stuff. But yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. And the problem with Darkhawk is there's still a lot of Cosmos. There's a lot of ongoings. Loki is pretty annoying because you throw rocks into their deck and then they just let you know I wasn't gonna play my deck anyway, so like I don't really care about my deck. And combo decks can be a problem. Basically, I'll write it like this. I'll say it this way. So when I mean decks which don't care about disruptive cards, we're talking about either decks able to lose priority, which means Shang-Chi, Shadow King, and these kind of cards are less likely to land, and Loki, where either they're gonna have Cosmo to protect their collector, or even if you can still land a shot on their collector, you're so scared about turn 6 where your play is probably just Doctor Doom when their play is 5 different cards that you feel really pressured playing against. When I meant combo decks, they're kind of here. It's like Negative, it's Phoenix Force, it's these kind of decks. And right now they're building, but they're not really popular yet. It's just they could come back thanks to the nerf. Loki, we already said it. And Ramp is... I could have put Ramp with Thanos Control. It's just that Thanos Control does it in a very different way than Ramp. But Ramp and Thanos Control are going to have similar ways of winning the game, which is enough points to challenge if necessary. But usually they need to deny a part of their opponent's game plan. Otherwise, they're not going to get there. And then we have like these three. How can I? Well, just change the color. What's a color that tells you it's a good deck? Yellow.
Green.
Green. Okay.
Yellow.
Green. What's a color that tells you it's matchup dependent? Orange.
Orange.
Nice. Orange? That's absolutely not the same orange. Okay, so these are basically the satellite decks, which are good. Like, if you find a good list with the deck, you can surprise a lot of people because they don't necessarily see you coming or anything. But there is something that makes it that they're not part of this loop. Either because, like these three, like they're good, but they're not countering or being countered by anything specific. So a lot of matchups are just like, if I draw well, I'm gonna have a shot. If I draw badly, I'm probably in a bad spot. And the orange ones are decks that either have a problem or are trying to counter stuff. Like, for example, Junk is going to be extremely good against Thanos. It's going to be pretty good against Loki, but Destroy just laughs at you and snaps you on turn 1 every single game, and you're just forced to retreat because you just don't want to play against Destroy. Phoenix Force is based mostly on his outs, but there's also the problem of Thanos control with Cosmo, with Professor X locking down lanes, and Darkhawk can be pretty annoying because the deck relies on drawing extremely effectively. So when they start throwing rocks in your deck on turn 1 and turn 3, suddenly the percentages of finding all the cards you need lowers significantly. And last, there is Negative, which came back with the Mobius change, but is just not putting up numbers right now. Like, if we look at the whole complexity of the metagame, like, it should be decent against Loki, except Loki's playing Cosmo to protect the Collector, and Cosmo basically literally like shuts down the whole lane for Mr. Negative. High Evolutionary plays Leech, which says, Mr. Negative, you're just a bad deck now. Destroy has actually enough points to challenge Mr. Negative. Thanos Control has Cosmo and Professor X, which is a problem. And Darkhawk can throw rocks at you, and when you draw rocks with Mr. Negative, you just want it. So it's not a single problem. It's more that there are a lot of things that makes it that Mr. Negative kind of needs to high roll. All righto, I think I am done with talking to myself. So, what are we doing today? If there are no questions about anything about the metagame currently, was that all good? Like, easily understandable?
No, that was really good.
Yeah.
And I'll say as a dude who really just jumps on and plays dailies as of right now, like, I fully have a really good grasp right now of what to expect when I'm jumping on the ladder. So thank you for that. Like, a nice little 15-minute, 20-minute rundown of what to expect, like deck by deck. Like, very good. Thank you.
So,
Dan,
go ahead.
so what kind of timeline do you usually see these switches occur? You know, people playing lots of Loki. I mean, when are these? Do you usually spot these differences over the course of hours, days?
No, it's never hours. It takes more time to collect enough data for that anyway. Usually, after the patch happens, it's, I would say, minimum 48 hours. Sometimes 24 if the tendency are extremely strong. But usually it's 48 hours. And the other thing is the changes were so significant this time that I played an unhealthy amount of time. Like, that another part of figuring a metagame out. The data is nice, looking at the deck trackers and everything is nice, but I played like 9 hours a day on Wednesday and Thursday to figure all out because I hate not solving a puzzle.
And you see, I mean, I guess it's probably really hard for you to do this, right? But Do you guys have data to show the differences or their variations at different levels? Because
Yes,
I'll see a lot of
filters.
destroy. I don't see as much Thanos control as I did.
You can do it on literally every deck builder ever. Correct one. Rank. Pick by rank.
Oh, this is really nice now. Yeah, they've expanded it.
And then you can even like their popularity, their win rate, their average cubes. You can do a lot of things. Like you can filter everything you need now on deck trackers.
So, I with a metagame this wide right now, how do you if you want to play into this, if you want to do well, is it just sort of picking a camp? Is it there's nothing that all these decks have in common that opens it up to some seventh counter, right? How do you start collapsing a metagame this wide? How do you pick your targets?
So
Good question.
there are 3 ways to do it. Either you just pick a deck which doesn't care who's in front of him. So right now it would be Loki or one of these 3. Where you just go like, if I play this deck well enough, I should have a shot against everything. In the case of these 3, you're more draw dependent. In the case of Loki, you're still trying to dodge specific matchups. But usually the problem with picking the best deck is you're also picking the most popular one. So if you're gonna pick Loki, you better be confident you can win the mirror match. Because if you pick Loki and you're gonna lose the mirror match, well, your win rate is automatically below 50%. So that's problem number 1. Like, but if you're really good at the game and you consider you're, I don't know, stronger than at least 50% of the people you're gonna face playing Loki on the other side, you can go for, well, let's play the best deck and let's other people figure it out. Then there is I'm gonna go with what people are not comfortable with. For example, I had a really, really good run with High Evolutionary, because in Conquest, I was amazed at people staying into snaps where I was like, why the hell are you staying here? You're already behind just by Sunspot and Cyclops ruining your lanes, and you know I have an Infinite and a She-Hulk coming down. But I guess over the course of like the 4 weeks where Mobius killed the deck, people forgot that Inchinot drops like 30 power on turn 7. So you can try to go by the surprise. And the last part is... So just for clarification, I would put Thanos in the same category of Loki right now, where it's probably the best or the second best, depending on what your opinion of Loki is. And it's the same thing. If you're going to pick Thanos Control, you better believe you have to be able to win a mirror match, because otherwise, just don't pick Thanos Control. You're just going to have a really, really bad time. And the third part is, if you don't know, pick a deck that knows for you. Decks like Shuri, decks like Discard, decks like Destroy. You're probably going to take half, maybe even less, the time that you're going to need to learn Loki, to learn Thanos, to learn these kind of decks. Like, to play Destroy, you have to understand that you draw Deadpool, you kill Deadpool, and honestly do that for your first 50 games, and you might very well win 25 or 30 of those if armor is not in the meta. So I think it's different approach. As for me personally, usually what I do is I try to play with absolute lack of need to win. Like, what I try to do when a new metagame rises in is I try to have absolutely no reason to try and win games, because trying to learn and trying to win, to me, are not compatible things. We really want them to be compatible, but trying to learn gets in the way of trying to win, and trying to win gets in the way of trying to learn. Because when you try to learn, you want to explore situations, and when you're trying to win, you're trying to limit situations to the one you already control. So my secret tip is, if you really care about your ladder rank, play Conquest. If you're committed to winning in Conquest and you already started the run, play on the ladder. If just booting up your computer and not knowing what to play stresses you, find someone and play on a piece of paper, like actually make cards with your with the pen and paper, and actually play this way. But to me, the best way is remove the need to win. That's gonna
Mhm.
help you. And otherwise, what I do most of the time is I play a shit ton.
Mhm.
I just play a lot. Like I go on ladder. When I try to learn, I think ladder is better because matchups change more regularly, and you just want to see as much things as possible in these times. So usually I just go on ladder. I play a lot, and at the end of the day, I just think about everything I faced, try to see tendencies, try to see which ideas I thought worked well for me or for my opponents, and everything. And I kind of go from there.
That's a good point, man.
So what do you think will eventually settle this meta? I mean, so these are all very good tips. If you want to win right now, go with the best deck if you're confident in the mirror match. Play the decks that don't care about their opponent. Play decks that surprise. If we want to go on that learn side of things, and we really want to figure out, all right, how do we come up with a deck that will eventually start collapsing this meta because it has an answer to something this wide? Where would you start when it's something this wide? Like if it's 2 or 3 common decks, we can find commonalities. But when there's this many different decks doing a 6-way rock paper scissor, it's kind of hard to figure out something that can cut into a larger number of them.
Doesn't
So,
can
oh,
I?
yeah, sure.
I guess I'm saying. I guess what I've seen so far in these situations is that when the meta gets wide like this, it's something else shakes it up, right? It's an OTA or a new card that adds the secret sauce to try something off kilter.
Yeah, we respond to a signal of some sort.
Yeah, but let's assume there's not going to be an OTA because otherwise the answer is always the same. Wait for the next OTA. There's one every week, so you basically are in a waiting room your whole life playing Marvel Snap. So let's assume we're trying to solve before the OTA. Like, I don't know, next OTA is going to be next Thursday. Let's assume we have a tournament on Tuesday and we need the answer by Tuesday.
Okay.
There are, I think, different things that you can look at. First, you can try to be a little predictive. By the way, all I'm gonna say here is hugely based on bias. Like everyone has bias in this regard. Like what you think is good or not good in the game right now is gonna heavily influence what you're gonna look at and how much you believe in some signs or completely like forget about them and think they're not.
Mhm.
So first thing is try to see if there are decks with no counters and decks with counters because there's a good chance the deck with no counters are going to grow while the decks with counters are going to go down. For example, right now the 2 most popular decks are Loki and Thanos Control. They're pretty compatible. Loki is good against decks that are not like, how do I say it, that are not so synergistic because Loki wants to steal good cards, while Thanos Control is extremely good at punishing very specific decks because it just comes in with a flurry of disruptive cards and one is gonna annoy the opponent. So these two cover a very large base, which is difficult. So usually what I would say is I would look at the decks that Thanos Control counters and see if Loki can also be a problem for those decks. Because right now, if you have both Loki and Thanos as a bad matchup, I don't think you're going to survive in this metagame. So, for example, I can already erase Negative. Negative struggles against Loki, struggles against Thanos, so I know Negative is not good to invest into. I could also cancel Move. Unfortunately, I think Move is really, really good, but Move relies on mostly good cards and doesn't like Thanos too much. At least until we find the right way to build Move again. I think Move is going to struggle. It's not necessarily going to be a bad deck. I think you can definitely like get a high rank or like go on a good run of conquest with it, but I don't think it has potential to be best decks in the game conversation as long as both Loki and Thanos control it. I would do this. And this is where, for example, my bias is gonna enter into the equation. Personally, I think Loki beats Destroy. A lot of people think Destroy beats Loki because Destroy is super synergistic, and when Loki takes the cards, he doesn't know what to do with it. My point of view is when Loki takes Null from you and you snap because you had a really good hand, you're gonna lose that game and it's gonna cost you a ton of cubes. While when Loki steals a bad hand from you, he pays 1 cube and he gets out. So people say Destroy beats Loki a lot. I say Destroy doesn't beat Loki 4 times when Loki wins 1. And that's what he needs to do to be balanced in this equation. Because Loki pays 1, Destroy pays 4 most of the time.
I've been playing a lot of Destroy the last couple days, and Loki is actually a scary deck because you've done all the work, and now they get your death and, just like you said, Null for free. And you don't know what lanes are going to drop it on. So
and they play Cosmo.
Yeah.
It's not even like you beat them immediately. Like, if you don't start destroying Deadpool on turn 1, well, I mean, you don't have Deadpool early on, you still have to dodge Cosmo. They're still generating cards. Like, I've seen Destroy Snappy on turn 1, and I go, Maria Hill, give me armor. Oh, nice. These things can happen, and to me, a good and a bad matchup in Marvel Snap, there's win rate, of course, but to me, you really need to dominate hard in the win rate category to make up for the snap is super advantageous for a deck compared to the other. And to me, the snap is so much better for Loki than it is for Destroy, that even if it's 60-40 for Destroy, I still give the advantage to Loki because the snap's gonna mitigate that. So personally, I would not invest into Destroy right now. I wouldn't invest into combo decks either because Thanos Control kills you and Loki kills you. I would invest in Junk very, very much because it's actually pretty good into both decks. But see, this is another one of my bias. I freaking love Junk. So, like, if I say this to other people of my level, if I might say this, a lot of people are going to be like, really? You really think Junk is a top 5 deck in the game? And I'm like, yeah, I think it's top 3 deck in the game. And they're going to insult my ancestors, and they might be right to do so. So, keep in mind, we all have bias. Phoenix Force, I think it's decent, but I think Thanos Control is a problem. And down the line, the problem I have with Phoenix Force is I don't think it can be a popular deck. I think it needs to remain a very scarce deck and surprise people. As soon as it's a popular deck, we go back to the, oh, he probably has a good hand. Pay 1 cube. Oh, I have the counter. Win 4 cubes. Then there's Shuri, which I think has no point being played at all. Like, to me, Shuri has a point being played if you don't know what to play and you're tired because you have other things to think right now and you want to do your dailies. If you want to be serious about the game and actually be a better player, just remove Shuri Sauron from the existence of your... So I would do this. This card, I don't really have an opinion, but I don't think it will ever be like in the discussion for best deck in the game, but I think it will always be in the discussion for top 10, but we're not talking about top 10 right now. So I would do this. So if it was just me, the metagame would be something like that. And I think as time will pass, Darkhawk will also lose its ground on Thanos Control, and the counter to Thanos Control something else, such as Junk. So to me, really, the metagame would be something like that right now. But that's considering all my bias.
So in a way, it goes back to the first lesson. It's not try to find the universal answer to everything. It's like, all right, figure out which decks are you're most likely to face, which ones you're most comfortable piloting, and be smart on retreats.
Yeah. And the problem is, even if you find the answer to the universe, are you able to even understand? Like, there's a scientist that once said it, is like, right now, we're not sure there's one human on the planet that if we found the answer to the universe, we could actually understand what it means. And sometimes that's actually the case. Sometimes we're just not in a position to solve the full puzzle. So just progressing a little bit is actually pretty good. And to me, progressing right now is playing these 4 decks. And because I've well, I won't say I invented it, but because I've been playing Thanos Control for, I don't know, since Thanos actually released. Like, I literally bought the card the first day they introduced Series 5 because I love the card so much. I feel like I don't need to play it. Like, I'm gonna keep it in the metagame, but I don't need to play Thanos Control. If I feel like Thanos Control is the right pick to climb the ladder or win a tournament, I'll just play it for 24 hours and I'll get back at a level that I find respectable. So to me, right now, I only have 3 decks to play if I really want to get better, which are Loki when I really want to win, Junk when I want to try to feel smart about myself, and I Evolutionary when I want to explore different decks and see the potential of things that we haven't played in a long time. That would
Very
be
helpful.
where I'm at right now. And Phoenix Force is just sometimes I'm like, I like the little guy.
I like it. So if there's no way to solve a metagame this wide, pick a deck, use it to practice, use it to learn.
Yeah, like
Makes
once again,
sense.
like separate winning and learning.
I love it.
If you stop that, like if you remove the need to win, suddenly so many more decks are enjoyable. Like, it's crazy. Like if you remove your need to win games in a game that you literally have really no difference when you win or lose, except there's a number that moves on the screen, but it doesn't impact your life in the slightest. Suddenly you're like, oh my god, there are 50 decks I want to play. Then sometimes someone is like, but don't you like winning? And, oh yeah, suddenly there's only 2 decks I want to play. Alright, I'll try to get it back to where. Oh my god, technology. Right.
I think I've generally when I play, I've maintained try to finish the run to infinite in the first week. Usually that way there's less chaos, and then I would take another deck and just practice. Decide at least once per month or once per season, I'm going to learn this deck that I've never played before because it helps me beat it, and then I play for fun in Conquest or whatever. So the answer is always Quake.
Yeah.
Example, yeah. Look. There you go. Quick.
And we should have just started with Quake as the answer.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I think I really believe into trying to find the limit of a system. The thing is, the hard part usually isn't to find the limit, because if you're pretty logical and you just have enough knowledge, you're gonna progress and eventually you're gonna hit a wall. The really hard thing is to find the right start, because there's so many ways to start it. Like, you can start with, I think Loki's the best deck in the game. You can start with, I think Thanos controls the deck in the game. You can start with, not enough people know about High Evolutionary, but I think it's actually now the best deck in the game. You can go with, well, nobody's playing Armor, so I think everyone should play Destroy. Like, none of these sentences are wrong. They're just personal.
Mm-hmm.
So, depending on what you believe in, how much you trust the opinion of others, how much you trust the data, I think the most important thing is find the right start the system, and then most of the questions are going to be yes or no.
I mean, after all, you're only playing for yourself. You're not playing on behalf of everybody. So think about the meta the way you want to, the matchups you are worried about, the ones you enjoy, and pick a lane.
Yeah, I mean, then there's obviously the fact that once you've done, the good thing with this is that once you've done all your math and all your like calculations and everything, you boot the game, and if you're right, you're usually going to win more than you lose. And if you're wrong, the game's going to let you know as well.
I think it's for a while a way I would look at it is I'd see whatever Cozy would kick out of on his weekly thing, and then I would try to find something that countered it. And that gave me a pretty good idea of where on the picture to start from.
Yeah, for example. Okay, so what I want to do today, I've done my system. Now I want to hear about yours. So what I want to do is I want to do it for every single one of you. So we're gonna pick sorting point that anyone wants, and we'll just see what's the limit of the system, their system, that should tell them what they should play in the metagame they believe is theirs. Who wants to?
Hello there.
Hello.
I talk plenty, so how about somebody else?
Right. Who wants to give this a shot?
Or you could just call.
I
Oh,
can do
Bishop
it.
it is.
I mean, that's what usually happens. You say, go, everyone else can do it, and I'll say, sure, I'll do it. Um,
I'm from Minnesota. I can't go first.
I think I understand what you're talking about. So I guess we'll probably have to walk through it a little bit. But
Of course, I'll be with you every step of the way.
Okay, so to pick, should I just pick a jumping on point? Is that what you're saying to start with?
You pick what you think
Okay.
is the key point of the current metagame.
So for me, what I've been, I guess the when I was playing, the thing that kind of stopped me in my tracks that I had to kind of modify for was Loki.
Okay.
The deck I was playing I was doing pretty well with this Move Quake Legion deck, and Loki just was able to just lock me out. They got bigger than I did, and could play. I mean, except for and since they played tons of cards on 6, they went over the top of where I was. So
our
that
start
one was
was Loki.
Yeah, if it was for Loki. If my immediate, if personally, what I would like to go, what I would go to would be, I don't usually do well with the She-Hulk decks. I just find myself tripping. I never pull them off the way I want to. So I probably should learn that. And I don't play Destroy. I haven't. I mean, it's just not my thing. So I tend to flow to Thanos Control then. I really I like the Thanos deck. It's pretty flexible. For some reason, I skip Darkhawk a lot because Darkhawk is just very. I don't know. It was too meta for a long time, so I never got really back into it. And then when I kind of when Thanos Control seemed to be like evenly matched, I would kind of move back towards either Junk or back to the Quake move deck. And that's gotten me some gold or some Infinity tickets. I think Junk, like you said, I'd love to. Maybe it's a deck I'll take some lessons from you on, because I find that I either play it really, really well, or I dig myself into a hole and can't figure out how to get out of it.
Okay. So your system is Loki is extremely prevalent into the metagame, but there are multiple answers to it which I can't seem to enjoy or want to play. So we have to go to less common Junk. Okay. Here and save for later. Problem. Alright, Wells. You're all gonna go eventually.
Someone go for it.
Sorry, I've been AFK grabbing some food and taking care of my dog. What what exactly are we doing? Sorry.
We're doing so I exposed my vision of the metagame and what I believe was good and what the information I had. What we're doing now is yours.
Yeah, for me personally, I don't really care much for the meta. I just kind of play what I want for fun. I'm not trying to be hyper competitive. If I was trying to do what you guys were like, if I'm trying to find somewhere to be in the meta, like trying to be relevant, I would probably try to find something that was kind of a like a quasi competitive like answers instead of like a not necessarily like a good stuff, but like an answers deck. So like all just something that just answers everything. That's kind of what I would be thinking. So like not like pure tech, but just like maybe like semi good stuff answers, something like that.
Like
That's
Sarah
probably what I
Control?
would do.
Like Sarah Control?
Yeah, that's because when the only time that I really tried to do anything that was competitive was probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago. I would guess around that time, and it was a Sarah Luke Cage hazmat, and man, it was nuts. It was they couldn't nobody. I mean, it was just nobody was ready for it, and I was beating the dog crap out of everybody. People were so mad. I could just you just knew they were mad because like that last turn, they thought it was normal, Sarah Control at the time, and they were just like, "What in the world?" So that's kind of probably something that I would go for. And I had like what's it called? Typhoid in there. I mean, it was a really strange deck.
Toxic Sarah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It's
And
pretty
then
fun. I think you're gonna enjoy my take on John.
yeah, I saw what you had, and I built it, and I think I played it once. Yeah.
Would it be something like this, or would it be more like? No, it would be more like the Azmat combo.
It would, yeah, something like that though. Yes, that's exactly kind of just answers a lot of stuff. You got Scarlet Witch to take care of stuff, Shadow King to answer things, Shang-Chi to kill things, Absorbing Man to do something if they have a way to block something, Enchantress to take care of something. Exactly, kind of what I'm thinking. Killmonger, just answers to everything, and Sarah's just there to make it more feasible so you can do all of it. Yeah.
Okay, so we have deck number 2.
But yeah, at the end of the day, I don't really care. I'm not trying to win a bunch of shit. I'm just here to have fun. Thanks for being patient with me popping out and stuff. But yes,
no problem.
Rock on.
So who's next?
All right, I can go. So I really like reactive play. I like control magic kind of thing. So I often keep trying to make Cerebro 3 work. There's different versions, a lot of tech cards. There's a discard version where you're trying to spread some swarm around. I played kind of like the last answer, a bit like Sierra Control, except you've got more unpredictable points, a lot of things that can move around, a lot of things that can drop fast, and if you're destroying their points at the same time. I just like the puzzle box of it, how to sequence the cards in the right way to make it all look right by turn 6. On the proactive side, I think Destroy is pretty solid right now, or at least in my bias. I've had fun with it. A lot of the tech cards are missing. Even if they drop, a Killmonger, drop a Cosmo, Killmonger can still get the cards you need on a different lane. I even find the return of Shang-Chi being really helpful for Destroy, because you can use X-23 to drop death early, or maybe even have a big Venom. People target it happily on turn 6. You're dropping something else like Null and feeding off those points. So I find it to be kind of a fun cat and mouse experience. I guess to summarize, what I really enjoy is interaction with the opponent. The dance you do trying to figure out who's going to counter whom, in what order, and where does it all end up at the end.
Okay, so how are you building your Destroy deck? Play anything different, or is it a traditional?
Right now, I've been doing fairly traditional. Let me call it up real quick.
I booted.
Yeah.
Like, find yours. Like, I'll boot the one from the
Yeah.
tier list. Just
I think the one on the tier list is the one I've been doing a bit this morning. I think it's a lot of fun. I miss Arnim Zola sometimes, but when I play this version, honestly, I feel like I don't need it. I've got enough points scattered wildly, chaotically, as is.
Okay, so it's this one, but like Hulkbuster is Arnim Zola, basically.
It's the one I enjoy trying to play, but Hulkbuster is just very strong right now. You know, if you're putting it on something that can't really die, like X-23, that's extra points bouncing around. If you're putting it on something you know is going to die, great. It's more for death or more for null. It's useful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got destroy. What's your color?
Purple.
Yes.
I think it's interesting to hear the theme that we've all kind of said in some ways, like, I like to be reactive, I like to puzzle this out. I wonder if that's the common sauce between all of us who attend these sessions.
Sometimes there's styles.
Yeah.
And it's fun because that's also usually my style, so I guess maybe I've influenced.
I mean, yeah, I think that, if you're trying to win a proactive race, in a way that, your opponent doesn't even matter, it's less fun. You can sit there with a calculator and, say, I got to 40 and be happy with that. But for me, part of what makes this game really fun is you're not just trying to get to a high number, you're doing it at the same time as an opponent. And figuring out, who's going to trump whom is just a lot of it adds the magic to it. You've got to test the idea against something.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
nothing more fun than like knowing, okay, you're gonna play Artem Zola now. I'm gonna crush those lanes. Like, do whatever you want. I know what you're doing. It's a real fun game that way.
Yeah. Or I feel confident. They completely surprise me with something, and you have to almost sit back and just say, that was such a juicy move I didn't see. All right, I've got to start building around this, right? It's just, I feel like even if you win or lose, like you're getting fed by the opponent. It keeps you going.
Right. Do you want to do yours? Not for long, or should we move on to Dex?
Whatever you want.
You're here. You're
Time permitting.
entitled to do it.
Sure.
Otherwise, you can skip your turn. As you.
Phoenix
Sure.
Force. Phoenix Force.
Yeah, so after the long conversation of being reactive, at no point do I want to put Shang-Chi in a deck or play anything that cares about my opponent. I guess kind of where I sit in the meta, the only consideration is just Loki.
Yeah. I guess a lot of people have the same idea about Loki.
Yeah, and I guess every deck is trying to, it needs to have a good, at least what I'm playing against, has quote unquote good Loki matchups, so fair bit of destroy. And the Shuri move discard, kind of something in that range
Okay.
that don't exactly care. So it kind of, instead of going through, it just stems off. So I landed on Phoenix Force as yet another one of those decks that comes off, but has options and definitely the surprise factor. And also just sometimes you feel smarter than your opponent. And what else are we doing than to feel smarter than our opponent?
We're a very off-meta group here.
Well, it's been Loki for 3 months, it feels like, so.
Yeah, and he
I
got
just
out
love the
only
way he
2
so
months ago.
politely. I love the way you so politely said, like, well, where I sit, and like the rest of you guys
No, I said
down in the lower
I
sections.
I said my
I
deck
love
was
it.
junk as well. Like I'll show you the decks I've been playing, and you'll see it's extremely close to everyone else's answers.
I'm talking about not for long. I love it. After watching you play last time, we were like, oh, what is he, single digits? It's like crazy.
Like, look at my decks right now. I have Loki because I'm forced to try to write about it. I have Junk, which is one of the answers. I have Inchinot, which is a deck no one likes, but I've tried it and it's really good. And then look at what I've been playing otherwise.
I will say I tried Lambie's Loki by Night over the last couple days, adding in a werewolf. It is a lot of fun, and it's a little bit like racing around with a rocket on your back. You're not almost entirely sure where you're going to aim.
It's really like it's putting on a jetpack and like, please be working. Oh my god, it's working, and you don't really know what you're doing with it.
That's right. The most random wins possible. Yeah.
Yep.
No, I put it in my Quake deck, and man, it synergizes so well with Storm, and then if you don't like that and some other deck, it's just really easy to use. I really enjoyed it.
My only problem with Loki Werewolf is I don't have Werewolf. I put in Jeff, and I feel like it's the exact same thing. Because with Beast, Elsa, and Forge, I regularly get like 9 power Jeffs, and I'm like, why the hell am I bothering with Werewolf?
Honestly, I want to try Werewolf in a Destroy deck right now. Just have it zip along, kill it for points.
Well, the abilities happen before Werewolf moves. So sometimes you can also just destroy, and Werewolf just joins in, and like, where's everybody? It's just a deck where you call it late to the party, and just Werewolf just joins every time. It's like, what? Where's everyone?
Yeah. Hey guys, it's me.
It's really good if you have to Shadow King like a card where your Craven is sitting, because then he shows up afterwards and gives you a buff to Craven, and then also takes out, adds like another 7 points to the lane.
Yeah. Alrighto. So you have about 45 minutes. Let's start playing. So who goes first?
Again, it's not going to be the Minnesotan, so somebody.
I can go again. Like I said, this is what always happens.
So. This is the way it goes anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Do you have a list for junk, or do you need me to provide one?
I have. I saw one of your lists. I took your list. I think. What do you call it? That you posted at one point. So I'll still have to see if there's any changes to it, because I haven't updated it. But let me pull it up. Yes, I think that was the exact one.
I have not touched it, and I actually won a few conquests with it.
Oh, because I could definitely learn to play it. I mean, the hazmat stuff I have pretty down. I struggle sometimes with where to go with the hood, I don't mind some coaching on that one.
Well, it's easy. Hood works with Carnage or Viper.
Right.
You either give it to your opponent or eat it.
The question I've always run into is, if I have Hood on one and I don't have Carnage or Viper, do you risk playing it and getting it stuck, and just so that you have the demon, or do you always wait for Carnage and Viper so you have an out? Well, that's kind of where I'm usually at.
I hate saying always. I'm not gonna use that word, but usually, if the first location that reveals and it's not one that I particularly need, we'll drop Hood on it and just play on the other two until one of the up.
Gotcha.
And okay. Otherwise, if it's Conquest and I already know some information about my opponent, or like I look at my hand and I'm like, oh, I can fit Hood during that turn, so I can just wait, I'm also fine waiting. Like, honestly, apart from I have Viper in my hand already, so let's just drop Hood either left or full right. There's no real rule.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, let me get this screen sharing going.
Yeah.
I'd say that. Sorry, but while he gets the screen share working, there are other people that want to discuss their lists. So then, when we start playing, we play we try to go a little bit fast, so we don't. But go ahead for your question.
No, I was just going to say, Den's Junk List and Not For Long's Phoenix Force are two I'd really love to watch, so I'm just excited for this.
Yeah. We can do these two as well if people want to see.
That's the complete list, right? Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Do you care what mode, or do you want us to go into? Should I go into ladder?
Depends what you want to do. If you want to
Oh,
win,
I
go
could.
in the mode you want to win in. If you want to learn, go in a mode where we have time and you.
All right, we'll do conquest. I got some tickets to burn. I have so many tickets to burn up.
Oh yeah.
So, should we go big?
Go big.
Oh, so many buttons to push.
Don't pick the wrong deck.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, your name is Mystery Variant? I think we played each other earlier today.
Maybe. Yeah.
Huh.
I change my name randomly all the time. I try to make something fun out of it. So, well, I think I'll pass here.
Solid play.
So, something with Darkhawk, good card stack. Oh, those are nice targets.
Oh, yeah.
So I would think about here Vipering the Raptor.
Yeah. Good. And because there's Moy Ireland and you can't really fill it, you're probably gonna have to win the other two. So yeah, be aggressive on one of these two.
So, of course. So I would think Debris into Muir Island and try and close off Savage Land.
Well, if you anticipate you're gonna lose Moy Island,
Kunlun. Okay, and do the
because
same
at
thing,
some
just go the
point,
other way.
also
It's hard to say
because
because he could move the Jeff over to Kunlun, right?
well, he will. That's not a problem. But the thing is, you have Shang-Chi. So you could take Moy Ireland back. And the thing is, if you get a rock and he keeps playing on Moy Ireland this turn, you're gonna push him to move Jeff earlier. Well, if you don't attack
Okay.
Moy Ireland, he can just leverage it as he wants and he can manipulate it.
Well, and then if I put a rock on Muir Island, then it just makes points.
Oh well. Okay, so we got a location. That's good.
Yep.
Be careful also because Darkhawk decks are playing.
Okay. So then man thing onto Kunlun to kind of, since there's a rock there anyways.
No, I think I would hood left, cage middle.
Okay.
I want Luke Cage down eventually, and middle is just a win, so I know I can try it there. And the thing is, you probably will have to Shang-Chi at some point to win the game because his numbers are just growing too much compared to ours. And
Okay.
that means turn 6,
Yep.
you're going to want Shang-Chi plus Demon.
So Luke Cage, so Hazmat's kind of dead, and so is Man Thing.
Man Thing is still a 5.
I mean, it's a 5 cost, but yeah. So we got 4. So Man Thing into Muir Island for the points. And assuming that we're gonna, let's see, Korg will be a 7, so it gives you Demon or Korg. I mean, Demon or Shang-Chi into Muir Island next turn.
So this is very specific, but I would Man Thing right, Demon left, because I do not want priority. And if Demon right
Okay.
and they don't play right, you get priority.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Oh no, they're really smart. Because they put Jeff as an 8. Really smart of them.
Right.
But what's not really smart
We just
is that now they lose to Chavez on the right. Oh yeah, we don't play Chavez. I mean,
we don't play Chavez. So now we have a. So let's see. We can't win Kunlun because we don't. We can only put on 4 points or 5 points there. So we have to go Shang-Chi left.
you have priority.
But you have
Just 4
priority.
points.
They played,
Right. But I mean,
they played it really well because they moved Jeff, and so they lost priority. So
Mhm.
Right.
You're
No, I
going to
understand
drop
that. But
Hawk.
so we should retreat then?
I think there are two ways to
Because
play it. You either snap and make them believe you're gonna win, right? Or you retreat later.
it's only 2 points. Well, so I guess we know they have cage, so we're going to
Playing
be dealing
it,
with it.
like, you know you're not gonna win it if you play it. So you're not gonna play this. The question is, do you snap in hope he doesn't play it, or do you retreat so you don't?
Let's go for big. Go big or go home.
Okay, and then just go
And
card.
then hey,
The power of information.
that's
Nice.
interesting. No, we can't play hood there. So pass on hood or just pass. Hello?
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
here.
Just pass?
Yeah,
Or would you play? This is because there's no safe place to play it.
yeah, I would hold. And you don't have a turn 2 anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, well, there you go. So hood center. And see
Yep.
what happens.
They haven't showed us armor. Or...
No, they have not. Only cage. Hmm. So setting up a hood absorbing man play here. And I guess Murder World's gonna kill at least one stone, but or maybe hood like debris here.
Oh, you can hold debris until next turn. You could just slam your demon.
Demon. Good. Worked out. Oh, goblin. So I would think so either demon absorbing man or goblin because there's wide open space. So maybe goblin.
Yeah,
I said
because
before that
your Azmat is useless. So now you have to think like points wise. You really have to think in terms of points and how you're gonna win this game without your Azmat. Probably Green Goblin delaying you.
middle.
I mean, you're leading the left, so you're probably gonna play left and then pick middle or right. There's no really there's no good choice right now. We don't have enough.
Oof. That's not good. Oh, Shang-Chi. Sarah left.
They haven't showed us anything that could block Shang-Chi.
No, we haven't seen armor.
Okay.
Or Cosmo.
Yeah. Oh, there's the win. Hopefully. So snap this.
Good.
Oh wait. Oh, Dark Heart dropped. Yeah, it's just a Dark Heart dropped, but
Actually, pretty.
actually, I guess it should be the other way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like. Yeah.
My guess is they're gonna feed more rocks into us. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it made sense to play the Shang-Chi. It was more like, do we snap it? But considering they just leave every time you snap, you can just rack up cubes
I'll
this
just
way.
snap now. I'll just snap now. I like the first turn. It's easy. Okay. Oh, we need a debris. There it is.
Mm. Mm.
Would you play this into the? I guess there's no way to get it back if it locks down. But I don't have any. I don't have a lot of reach. So debris into the right side for reach, and then we just give up on superflow. Oh, well, it would have ended up there anyways.
Or you can put it wherever you want. It's gonna go to the right.
It's gonna go to the right, yeah. So, or is this good? Oh no, I guess can't do it. Never mind. Sorry.
What were you thinking?
Actually, I could Viper the rocket. Or Viper the rocket.
You can do it later with 4 energy.
Or with a cage. Yeah, with cage.
Instead of wasting energy on the way, just.
Oh, goody. 2 of them. So maybe Luke left and then Viper right and try to send the debris across and block it. Or just move this stone.
Viper the rock on the left.
Clear the rock on the left and then cage left too. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why you want to cage right. That's the location you.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, we should have done 5 per second, so maybe you want.
Oh, I see. Okay. And then Sarah.
Keep in mind you do
Sarah.
want priority. That's why you want to play all your. Never
Gotcha.
take priority. I guess now you play. Because if you play right and they play middle, you never have priority. Well, if you play left and they play middle, you can take it, and if you play left and they play left, you can.
Okay. So Darkhawk is going to be left.
Doesn't matter. You have priority.
Oh, you have Shank. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. And Jeff is going to show up somewhere. Okay.
Well,
I mean, you could absorbing man. You're right. Puts an 8 instead of 5. Or actually, you could play absorbing man before Carnage and you get 9 instead. No, leave the rock. The rock was good.
So rock here.
Absorbing man, right?
Absorbing man.
Just have
right.
no target. It's just.
Gotcha. And then Carnage center.
Oh.
Yeah.
Doesn't the right one reclaim?
That's fun.
Pulling it back and forth.
There, that's not Darkhawk on the left. Oh shit. Yeah, it's gonna be reclaimed. So difficult to follow.
Oh, we're still in because we have less
that
cards.
was close, man.
That was close. That was a surprise.
oh, that's fun.
It's a Darkhawk hazmat setup. Guess we're gonna hold on to Cage a lot sooner. So they should. I mean, that was an interesting reveal. Now we know better.
I mean, they should have snapped on that one because if you can only pull that trick once, and you know,
There wasn't a lot of points.
Okay, so again, so here you would just give up the left lane.
Yeah.
Oh. We don't have a 2. Oh, well, Demon Center then. Just going to the vault, trying to lock that down. They're going to send Darkhawk in there, aren't they? I'm assuming. So maybe go right.
I would go left.
Because they're going to probably put Dark. They're going to put in the left and just counter the hood. But they're going to
Not
put
really.
Darkhawk in the center, right?
It's not really counter their hood or anything. If you get Green Goblin plus hood on the together,
So Carnage left. The Green Goblin should process first, right? And then then the hood would be eaten.
Yeah.
And then cage on the vault, or do we risk or do we maybe not risk the rogue? So maybe this is it.
cage on the right. Because if you think they're gonna Darkhawk in the middle, you want priority to.
Right, but what I'm curious is, do we want to? If we put the cage on the board now, don't we risk the rogue?
Is that a problem?
I mean, we're just worried about the negative, but let's try to play around the hazmat.
They played Hazmat last game and it was cubes, so fine if they do.
Big cage.
How big is Darkhawk?
What is it?
12.
6, 12, yeah.
That would be. Terra in the middle is used.
Yeah.
Darkhawk there as well. Right. Don't want priority.
Right.
The idea
Oh, I
is
see
they're
what you're
gonna take middle from you. Give them
Right.
priority, so now you try the classic, right, absorb left, and
Left.
now the other question is, what do they have to shank Darkhawk? Know their deck now.
So hazmat would be next, right? So they would rogue hazmat. So rogue into cage, and then hazmat. But we have less cards than they do
Mystique?
on the
Well, they
left.
have Luke Cage. They don't
Yeah,
care
Luke-
about the number of cards.
Luke
Yeah,
Cage.
they don't care about that now.
Do they have
So we should
Mystique?
probably retreat. Yeah, we haven't seen Mystique.
Why would they? Oh
On
yeah, they got
Darkhawk.
Mystic on Darkhawk, but I haven't seen Mystic. I don't know. I feel like we're super far ahead. 10 and 9 are the same number. I would just
Just try it.
no. I would take the free.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. Oop. Oh, well, that's useful. But not enough points.
It's a shame actually. If we played Shang-Chi left, we would have.
Oh, together, you mean? Yeah. Well, we know that they also have a man thing. Okay. Oh, that's nice.
Absolutely not. I don't think you know how Carnage works on cloning that.
No, oh, I see. So it's
No, you demon on cloning.
gotcha. Okay.
Mhm.
Carnage all your demons, and the carnage that you get back is the carnage with the added point.
I
Mhm.
see. You're right. I don't play a lot of Carnage on. Okay.
Have
Would
they
you
showed
clone
you
that?
a way to change? Like, are we guaranteed
No,
to have 7 turns?
we have not seen them. There's been no card that's altered the
Okay, then we have time. Then we
the
can play Green Goblin on the left, and
Calvin. Now, question: you wouldn't try to play cloning vats and take another one?
oh, you could Green Goblin middle. Next turn we Green Goblin again and demon. Then maybe
Yeah.
you snap, because we're really good right now. And 7 turns is
Okay.
bad for them because it's -2 on their Dark Oak naturally.
Gotcha.
And now we're gonna keep
And
Luke Cage very, very well in our hand.
very, very close to heart.
and don't lose priority, and so then they're just going to give you bigger and bigger Darkhawks to kill.
Oh, there's their Luke Cage. Okay.
Got some good logic going right here. I like it.
Mhm.
Okay.
What did the Iron
So
Lad copy?
Luke
Cage.
Cage.
Oh, okay.
So
Want to try it again in the middle?
Zombie Carnage.
Yeah, try it again in the middle. Because if it misses, you don't care. You're gonna Carnage it.
Okay. And then Demon, right?
No, Demon.
No, middle as well.
Mhm.
Oh, that's because we're gonna double Carnage over it.
Have it.
Yeah. So we have 5. So Goblin left, and then Luke, and then Carnage center.
And honestly, you could Goblin middle and Carnage too. If it works, the location's free. If it doesn't work, you.
We haven't seen a Darkhawk yet, right? So
If they had it, it would
okay.
already be in the middle. I mean, I
I mean, not a
assure you, the
Darkhawk. I'm
card
sorry.
they
We
want to
haven't
copy is
seen.
Darkhawk.
No, I'm sorry. We haven't seen a Shang-Chi or anything yet. Is what I meant to say. Sorry.
Your Carnage is
All
gonna be
right.
an.
Let's see what happens here. Whoop, McGraw. There's the Darkhawk.
Like Carnage easily beats it, and now you know they can't tank you.
If they can't get extra rocks from cloning vets.
Okay. One more.
Okay, so now,
So Carnage. So Carnage left,
no Carnage middle.
or because we get one more turn.
Green Goblin left. We're just gonna win middle and left.
And
Demon.
then
Wait. I want
not
another
yet.
demon.
Not yet.
I'm fine with another
Yeah,
demon. Demon middle.
Should you then reverse the order, demon and then carnage?
No, because I'm not gonna
Oh,
play
you want
another
the
Carnage.
points.
I want the
Gotcha,
6.
gotcha.
I don't need more. Like I get 10 plus 6, that's 16. My opponent's at 12. I'm good. I even cover Rock Slide. Yeah, and now you just Carnage left, Demon left. What? Play stuff in the
and
middle.
then
Play whatever you want. Like,
actually we haven't. Oh, they have double Luke Cage. That's right. So it doesn't matter.
but wait,
So,
let's think
oh,
about a second. Is there any chance in hell they have Elliot?
I guess we haven't seen it.
I mean, they're running Dune.
I don't run a tracker, so yeah. So I can't count cards that way, but I have to do it manually. But
Wait, their Darkhawk is it?
Put it on the right for fun,
Yeah,
for
but
science.
I'm trying to see if we beat it. If 13 can't beat.
because there's going to be another Darkhawk, right? They have a copy of the Darkhawk.
Yeah, we beat.
That's what's coming down on the left.
Yeah, we beat that. Even if they plus 14, we beat.
Don't you want to save some
Okay.
points for Shang? Or I see, yeah. Okay.
We beat Darkhawk. Like their Darkhawk can be a 14. They're gonna be at 18. Or Demon is a 9. Or yeah, like we're gonna crush that. We have Luke Cage. Didn't have priority anyway, so none of it is actually. Like they have Darkhawk. It costs 4 and it's a 10 power. We have Carnage. It costs 2 and it's a 12.
Wow,
Why are we worried?
that was fun.
Okay, we butchered Darkhawk. Nice. An Azmat combo deck just demolished the deck with Luke. It was a fun. Alright, do we want to conclude with some Phoenix Force action? Last 15. A lot of
Okay.
people were saying they
Good.
see that deck.
By a lot of people, it was Silver Mint, but yeah.
I want to see it too. I want to see it too.
Yeah, Silverman and friends.
Sorry,
You're
not
a fun player. I want to see it.
You're overnumbered here.
That's right.
Totally fine. I hopefully look smart on camera tonight.
We just like playing vicariously at your level. It makes us feel good.
All right, sorry, we're booting up. Sharing.
So not for long. I enjoy your slightly childish 69. I think that's cute.
You know what? It's a flex in as many ways as I could get it.
Yeah.
It is an insanely high rank as well as just being the funny number.
It is a very fun. Yeah.
Let's go. Are we going Conquest or are we doing Ladder?
You know what? Let's go quickly swap avatars. Maybe. Because we'll do Conquest. Or we can do that after. That doesn't matter, but that's fine. I'm not. I only use one avatar anyways, so.
Yeah, me too. The first season, I think I won 6 or 7 shiny avatars, and then I realized like, what am I gonna do with them? Then I stopped trying.
When they upgraded the avatar halo effect, did that upgrade on the ones that were already done, or did you have to re-win? Did you win?
You want the truth
Oh,
and
there's
didn't
two
even
different
check.
Oh,
I'm just playing the black.
Okay.
I'm just playing the black. Like I don't know what you call that with the mask, like the default avatar.
the shadow.
I've just
Yeah,
been playing that
default.
forever.
I saw that you were using some different card backs than the base one. You were using some of the infinite card backs.
That
Done.
depends. Like all my decks have a different card back when I'm in the mood. My favorite card back is the black one with map on it. Little black dress for a deck.
Alright, what do we got? That's definitely a card. Venom Carnage. So, trying to figure out what my hand does. Multiple man's good. I'm gonna go left. What are we doing? Nico. Oh, good Nico.
Is there Nico right now?
Their Nico's the destroy draw.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay. Decisions. I think the right answer is to hold my Venom and Carnage. And because I want to Shuri Nimrod and then spread 24 power everywhere.
How many cards are in your deck?
6.
Okay, so you're gonna draw 3 more cards. If you get Phoenix Force, it's better to now. And if you get Deathlock, it doesn't matter if you up Carnage. So do you think it's a reasonable gamble to use Carnage because you have 2 out of your 6 neck cards, still have 3 to draw, that make it good to use?
Okay, that sounds like good math. No, I hear what you're saying.
Also, if they have a shitty turn, you could just Carnage your multiple man, snap, and hope they leave.
Okay. Now I'm confused. We have Electro and Nico. Destroy.
Oh, I've been seeing some of that in Destroy. They use it to get a Nimroid, a Null, and then they ornament.
Oh yeah, it's the Nimrod Destroyer deck with like the RAM package. I wanted to try it, but I haven't got it around.
All right, well, that's gonna be something. What maybe?
Null
Alright,
mirror match games are always so fun.
Yeah, not having Null makes the destroy matchups. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Well, we didn't know it, but actually throwing Carnage was really good. Oh,
um,
they have Electrode. Do we think Venom and Nimrod is gonna be good? So you're gonna have what? 16 on the left, 14 on the right, 15 in the middle.
I was gonna Zola.
What if? So you're gonna take the 50-50?
I don't know. I don't. I guess it all matters on what they play here, but this could be Alioth
Okay.
too. And so, and I don't have priority.
Oh, you didn't
I'm
know
gonna
that?
gamble if they.
Oh, you mean
I know
Alias
I don't have
now?
priority.
This, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
As you wish.
I'm gonna say that didn't click.
No, if I think it's reasonable to retreat if you feel like it.
I mean, they drew almost their entire deck already and have 6 energy, and they know what my Shuri lane is. And if I was going to play into it, I don't know. That was. I've not seen any other cards, but I do know they run Sandman. So maybe. Oh, can you hear me? I don't know if Nancy
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
out.
I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Rickety Bridge. That is such a great location. All right. Passing. Scallion. Quicksilver? Yeah, let's do that. Just trying to. I mean, I guess I'm blocking an Electro, but that doesn't. Trying to get priority.
Oh,
Random deck.
Jesus.
Master Mole. Okay. I have a lot of options now.
you're now playing Loki. Congratulations.
So that rickety bridge, I definitely am gonna try to win with Nimrod.
Yes, definitely.
Um,
How many cards do they have in hand?
7 with Triskelion and District X. And Master Mold's fine. That seems like the best play, but that really doesn't. Stops one of their draws.
Well, it also
I'm gonna
gives
do
them
that.
something to. And if you do it, don't you want to play Ghost Spider as well? Get points. No, I mean I'm okay with Master Mold. Just we want to play Ghost Spider and just get points. I mean this game is kind of fucked up anyway.
Points.
Play tempo.
Wait.
That's actually really good. Get to Nimrod
really
early
good for
on.
you.
Yeah. This is Wave Nimrod. Into here. I like this. What are they going to do?
Who can tell?
Yeah, I'm just trying to. So it's something big.
They didn't get their Electro, or they would have dropped it on Rickety Bridge and Quicksilver. So
Yeah,
They
they're
could have hooked up on the
snapping
Doom or something like that.
because turn 5, I think I'm gonna armor left, and then turn 6, I'm gonna Zola the Nimrod, and that's bigger than Doom. All right, 2 cubes. Just trying to. Ooh, what's that one? Professor
Oh,
X.
Profound.
Oh,
Okay. So think I'm going to.
You,
Oh, okay. There's a lot of options here.
I like that one. I like
What?
Carnage Metal.
Yeah.
Armor Okai left,
yeah.
or at least Okai left. So if they play there, maybe you could just Okai, because if they play left,
Well, Hawkeye's going to get rickety bridged. I have to play armor to
oh
play
yeah, you have to
Hawkeye.
play armor as well.
And then what do I do?
Next turn,
Hopefully I draw something else. Let's see it.
that's the beauty of these games. You have no idea. So my take on this is just play as many points per turn and see.
Well, that's crappy.
Nova.
Hey, best armor in
That's good.
a long time.
I think I wanted to play Hawkeye in middle. No, I can't. Carnage. Never
I
mind.
didn't. Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, that's like. Well, I guess they could put points. That's a problem.
I mean, you have Akai that's heavily telling them don't play left. I'm gonna.
Take it. That's a good call. Let's see what they do.
I think it's worth staying.
Oh,
Hey, wait.
White Tiger.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
What?
Oh,
Wait. That's 7?
No. The lizard went back up.
No, 7
No.
energy. White Tiger
Psylocke.
plus Sentinel. Oh, Psylocke. I mean,
Okay. Well, yeah, that was a turn.
something happened here.
All right. Well, we haven't done much yet.
But you know it's not
Alright,
really a
well-
good matchup. I mean, we discussed it. Phoenix Force.
Yeah.
A really good deck when things go right, and quickly can things.
oh, that's a good one.
So specifically with this deck with Nico, I am just waiting to do the destroy
That makes sense.
because I don't care about much else.
Wait.
Oh, waiting. Were you gonna deathlock?
Well, you could have Nico, so you could have Deathlock on an empty lane and get 5 power. Got another Deathlock.
Oh, but that's a nice
my
combo.
Bad. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta play better, Dan.
I'm sorry.
That's what we're doing.
Oh my god.
I'll shut up. I'll shut up. Like
No.
I'll let the pros.
So is this 4 draws or 2 draws?
That's 4
it's-
draws.
No, it's 2 draws.
2 draws,
Really?
yeah, because the
I mean,
second copy
it's
is
the same
technically
thing.
not
Like,
there.
if you armor and the card is not destroyed, you'd get 0 draw. So I think Nico is gonna trigger, and then she's gonna be like, "Where's the card?" And she's not gonna give you the card.
Oh, I see.
So I
Okay.
think she's
Well,
gonna
multiple
activate
man-
twice, but she's not gonna draw twice.
Yeah.
If there's any line in this deck, it's multiple man. Because that's beating Alioth and that's beating most things on point. I mean, 16 points is 16 points. Yes, so they're at 6. So we're picking what location they're playing Professor X in. So they're going to Professor X left, right? Just
I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, like looking at the game, they could Professor X.
But if they Professor X left, they shut down your ability to hit a multiple man now, right?
yeah. So I want to, oddly enough, not where they're Professor X in.
So do you want to Shuri right into the Kamatage?
Yeah, that's a good play. Because then next turn I can, no matter what, Phoenix Force, Ghost Spider, and then figure out something else. Yeah,
Right.
alright, Mark Games, what do you got? Professor X.
Yep.
Yeah, alright, good call. But you're not winning. Oh, they have Alioth. Okay.
Or if you don't have Alioth, you can play Nimrod into the Kamatage lane.
They have priority.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it'll just vanish. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Wait, you're not gonna go spider though?
Yeah.
Not with Alioth, they have priority.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't get pulled anyway.
Would have tried it. Because you can't
Okay,
go
the-
spider
I
now.
guess that's fair.
Like, because your go spider is lost because it does nothing.
Yeah.
So, what are we doing? It's Chavez. Yeah, the Ghost Spider is lost. That is a bummer. You are right. So
Is that on the right side? What if he doubles down on the right side? Doesn't he get to be?
the right?
Does
Yeah,
onto Kamatage? What is that? Does that mathily? Is it only 6 higher? I guess it's only 6 higher. But you're more points for Chavez then, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
yeah. Do they run Odin? I guess what's the difference between 4 and 5 cubes at this point? Odin? Black
Nope.
Panther. Oh, that
Tarsus
doesn't do
tried
it. Alright. Wasn't that many points off.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, that was
Not our best matchup.
a counter.
Well, the middle one where you got like 2 deck swaps by turn 3, I think.
That hurt. And
Yeah.
then just white tigering hurt even more. Well, that was fun.
We'll get you to win, not for long. These past 2 weeks are not represented.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I have never played worse than on camera.
That's a skill to master as well. I've seen people who have achieved like super high ladder ranks and be considered the best in the world, and they go on a tournament and they play so badly just because they're on.
That's fair. I guess this is the only time I stream. I'm also never playing for money, so.
Right.
I just Venmoed you $1, so actually, nope, you just played for money. You didn't even know it.
Thanks, Silverman. Feeling
You're
the
welcome.
habits.
Yeah, that's right.
All bad plays are rewarded here.
Forced streamer. I don't want to be a streamer. You will be a streamer. Here's a donation.
That's right. I've already printed out T-shirts. Come on.
I will sub to the channel I made for you.
I'll start flaming you just because.
Yeah.
Yes, there's just going to be a Twitch stream of just what I'm playing without me knowing.
All right. Well, I don't think we'll have much time for the Sarah control part, but the thing is, Junk and Sarah control close because we have a lot of similarities. But hopefully that helped today, and that kind of clarified a little what's going on. Hopefully, the situation will change. Although I think it's slightly changed. Like, Ramp is gaining a little bit of popularity. Maybe we'll find a counter to Loki. So we will have to see this. And on this note, I will stop the video for YouTube viewers. Thanks for joining us, and see you next week.